Hello people on YouTube. This is not the ordinary content I'm uploading to my YouTube channel, but I felt I wanted to share it with you. First, you need a little backstory. You see, I have always had trouble with acne and pimples throughout my teenage years. I've tried many different methods to get rid of them: face scrubs, lotions, oils, antibiotic medication, UV light, you name it. After several years of trying to find a treatment, I finally found a prescribed ointment that worked like a charm. Now I've been using it for years, all up to my mid-20s. The only problem I might have at times is that the ointment sometimes goes out of stock at the pharmacy in the whole country, and it sometimes take up to several months to get it restocked. These last months is such a time. I have been out of ointment since before Christmas, and therefore I've had outrageous outbreaks of pimples and acne in my face and on my back. It's starting to get really annoying, not to mention all the scars you get. So, back to the main story. This weekend I laid in my bed working on my computer while I noticed what I took for a pimple on my right upper arm. So I scratched it like I always do. The pimple blew up immediately and got really red, but that's nothing out of the ordinary when you have the kind of acne problems that I have. I just thought it would subside eventually and continued my work before I went to bed. The next morning when I woke up, the pimple was still the same. Other than that, I got the same feeling as when you have a hematoma when I touched it. I didn't think more of it through the rest of the day. Next day I went to work as usual. I showed my upper arm to my workmates and they wondered what the duck I've done. The red swelling area was 6 centimeters long and over 5 centimeters wide at this point. We started to think about what it might be. You see, in my country we have ticks that carries bacteria that might cause infection when you get bit. The disease is called Borrelia, or Lyme disease, and brings a big swollen area around the bite that subsides over several days and sometimes weeks, leaving a big red circle behind. The problem with that theory was that the tick season doesn't start until a couple of months forward, and that I hardly leave my apartment on my spare time. How could I have been bitten by a tick during the winter when they lay in dormancy, and when I hardly leave my apartment? That doesn't make much sense. Another theory was that I may have been bitten in my sleep from something in my apartment. That was a really creepy and nauseous thought. Maybe a spider, or bedbugs. That doesn't seem to be the case since bedbugs usually gives many more smaller bites. Anyways, over the last week I had quite a lot of nose bleeding, a stuffy nose and blisters in my mouth. I knew that I had caught some kind of cold, but that's not unusual this time of the year. At this point I started to wonder if my supposed pimple had anything to do with it. My workmates wanted me to go to a dermatologist, but I thought it couldn't be that bad. I wanted to wait a couple more days. By the end of the day my colleagues convinced me to at least download a doctor's app where I could take pictures and send it straight to a doctor. So I did. After a while, the doctor responded with the ordinary questions of how long I've had it, how it felt, etc. He told me that if it grew bigger the next morning he would consider giving me antibiotics to treat the infection. He did not say what he thought it was, and I didn't ask, but it felt good to know that I possibly could get medication. Next day rises and the swelling had grown 2 centimeters during the night. Fuck, this is the day I die. The red area now measured 8 centimeters long and 5.5 centimeters wide. I sent new pictures to my doctor. He responds that I don't need any antibiotics because he think it looks better today. The fuck you talking about? I'm slowly getting consumed by a flesh-eating bacteria, and you think it looks fine? ? Fuck me. I don't fully believe him, and I'm considering a second opinion. He tells me that if it haven't subsided within 5 days, I should contact him again. I give up and hopes for the best. If I have to amputate, I know someone who isn't invited to my birthday party. A couple of days passes with me trying to ease the swelling with different household remedies. I wear a bandage soaked in aluminium acetate during the day and lubricate the area with hydrocortisone at night. After a couple of days the swelling slowly starts to fade away. I still have marks where the supposed pimple used to be, and it's still a little red. But at least it's a much smaller area now. I don't know for how long the last swelling will be present, but at least I'm not gonna die. In the end, I don't really know what the fuck that swollen area was about. I will never know what it truly was, and it is by far the biggest infection I've had in my skin. I'm not a pondering or superstitious guy, but it sure as hell got me wondering if there are a mysterious creature in my apartment lurking on my Christian flesh while I sleep. I'm surely gonna think once or twice before I scratch a similar pimple again. Anyways, that's my bed bite story. If you've had any similar experiences or know what it might have been, feel free to share it in the comments section below. Peace out.